Cowboys in Khaki is an opportunity to add to the stories that we know about the American cowboy, and it's one that's not really well known at all. Is the fact that Westerners from across the western states were part of the U.S. involvement in the Great War, otherwise known as World War I, from 1917 up until 1922. And so what we did was use things from the National Cowboy Museum's collection and build on that through strategic loans from the 45th Infantry Museum and the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum to augment what we had in our own collection to help tell a story that's really not very well known. The campaign hat that U.S. troops used and wore when they got off the boats in France. When they got off the boat in France, were recognized by the French people and the Belgian people as they saw them as cowboy hats. In other words, the Americans are here, the cowboys are here to save the day, and it played very much into cowboy mythology. Horses were the primary mode of transportation over there, not only for cavalry, but also artillery, moving ambulances, trucks, supply wagons, mess wagons, and so on. And so the number of horses totaled 8 million on both sides. The U.S. provided about 1.5 million horses, as near as we can tell. However, because they were so vital to the war effort, horses were frequently a target, and so the average lifespan of a horse and mule in World War I service was 10 days. Well, we wanted to talk about the home front before U.S. actually enters the war itself, and that's supplying wheat for flour and beef for beef rations for both sides and eventually for U.S. troops. And out here in the West, this is where the beef cattle industry is founded and established up through World War I and even up to today. And of course, this is wheat country too. And so wheat farmers and cowboys were involved before they actually picked up a rifle and went overseas. And so that's a story we tell. And finally, commemoration, which is a key part of what happens after the war. How do you commemorate something so gruesome and so important? Is artists are involved, and public art is something that the National Cowboy Museum is heavily involved with in multiple ways, not the least of which is Into the Trail. And the sculptor of Into the Trail at our entrance is the same man who designed the U.S. Victory Medal, James Earl Frazier, and his wife was also involved with World War I commemoration as well. So